What are expeditions in Arc Raiders? Are they worth it? And is eggnog actually good? You have my word that 2 out of those 3 questions will be answered in today's video. Maybe all 3 if you were on the nice list this year and didn't extraction camp anybody with a trigger nade, which excludes me, I guess. Anyway, right before Christmas, I, among many other raiders, grinded my balls off and completed the first ever in-game expedition in order to get what every hardcore gamer dreams of: unique cosmetic rewards. And of course, some other in-game stuff too, which I'll go over shortly. And then after I do, we'll have a little chat about if it was actually worth it. That way, hopefully when the next expedition window begins to close around February 2026, all you new players out there can decide if you actually want to spend time and effort doing it, or if you'd rather just say fuck it. So for the Christmas noobs out there, let's first answer the question, what are expeditions? Think of it like this. Let's say you've played Arc Raiders for a really long time. You have almost every major blueprint unlocked that you really care about. Your stash is starting to feel like Scrooge McDuck's vault, and you're thinking, damn, I don't know what I have left to do in this game anymore. And if that's the case, then an expedition might be your answer, because it's the Arc Raiders equivalent of hitting the factory reset button on your account, or maybe even prestiging for all you COD kids out there. But yeah, expeditions are basically a season-long mission, and I use that term lightly because it's more like a giant multi-step scavenger hunt where you gather a ton of items from a big checklist and voluntarily donate them towards progressing your expedition. You keep doing that over and over, voluntarily sacrificing resources until you reach the very final step of the expedition, where the TLDR is. The more value you have in your stash, the greater your expedition rewards will be when the expedition is over and your account is reset. So if the expedition ends and your character's stash contains $1 million worth of loot, you'll basically get level 1 expedition rewards. If your stash contains $2 million worth of loot, you'll get level 2 rewards, and so on and so forth. And if your stash contains over $5 million worth of loot, you'll get the maximum level of rewards when the expedition is over. So if you finish your entire expedition quest and you loot hoard like a fiend until the value of everything in your stash and on your account has reached $5 million, then you get the maximum level of rewards, which are as follows: 12 extra slots in your stash, a 5% XP boost, a 10% buff to repairing worn down gear, 6% more materials gathered from your BFF Scrappy, 5 bonus skill points to use on your skill tree, and 2 unique cosmetic outfits, 1 for you and of course 1 for Scrappy. And again, remember, all those benefits come into play when the expedition officially ends, and at that point your account hardcore resets, meaning you lose everything in your stash, all of your blueprint progress across the board, all of your skill tree, all of your workbenches, and you start over again at level 1. Which, yeah, sounds really brutal, because I know a lot of us grinded like crazy to reach a high level and flesh out our skill trees, and worked really hard to unlock a lot of important blueprints. But again, I decided I wanted to go through with an expedition myself, which I did, and reset my entire account just to see if it was worth it. So first, let's go over why you shouldn't do expeditions. Let's get the obvious out of the way. Losing everything you've worked pretty hard to unlock really sucks. You've probably shed a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and maybe some other bodily fluids grinding for some of your higher level blueprints, and the thought of doing that all over again probably makes you physically gag a little bit. And depending on how much time you have to grind, starting all over again from level 1 could be a huge pain in the ass. You see, I make YouTube videos and embarrass myself on Twitch for a living, so I have plenty of time to piss away farming angry tweens on Stella Montis if I want to. But the average Arc Raiders player, though, probably has responsibilities. They may have a family, kids, and a 9-to-5 down at the business factory, and therefore might not have as much time to play and grind as I do. Reward-wise, if you consider yourself a casual player in any way, expeditions are potentially just not worth it for you. 12 extra slots in your stash ain't that much extra room. 5 extra points in your skill tree might not even be entirely noticeable to most casual players, and unique cosmetic rewards do nothing to help you in-game at all. Not to mention that the first ever expedition cosmetic outfit we just got is technically not a new outfit. It was soon learned by the community that it's the same outfit you wear in the opening tutorial of the game, which I guess is kind of interesting, but it's not really that visually stunning compared to other outfits you can currently buy in the store. The final point to be made for not bothering with expeditions, not how much time it'll take you to regrind everything that you lost, but how long it'll take you if you're an average player to complete the expedition itself. The mission is basically just a gigantic glorified fetch quest in which you, step 1, gather a ton of random ass items, step 2, bring them back to Speranza and dump them all into a big hole, and step 3, repeat. Not to mention that the final step of hoard as much as you can until the value of your stash climbs all the way up to 5 million is just incredibly boring. And for the record, this is one part that I think Embark Studios can really do better on in the future for ARC Raiders. When I was on that final step of the expedition quest, I literally found myself just farming the most valuable loot areas over and over and over, head empty. Spawn in, run to the high value loot area, grab everything, and get out. Rinse and repeat for hours until I got to 5 million. For the love of God, there has to be a way we can make expeditions more exciting. Maybe you could offer players different choices to reach the next level of an expedition quest, other than go collect this resource. I don't know, I'm getting on a rant here. Hit me with your ideas down in the comment section, but point stands that doing the expedition itself is pretty damn long for the average player, and also not terribly exciting. All right, now the other side of the coin, why you should do expeditions. And for the record, this is the side that I'm on. Meaning, I was originally really hesitant about doing an expedition, thinking it would be both a waste of time and a huge pain in the butt. But now that I actually went through it, I think I recommend it to the majority of active players, and here's why. The number one main reason is that by the time you finish your expedition, you'll have so much more knowledge about the game to prepare you for being reset. It's crazy. By the time I finished my expedition, I already had triple-digit playtime hours in the game itself, and I'd already learned a ton of things from other players, watching YouTube videos, reading guides, and so on and so forth. And even though my account was fully reset, because again, that's what the expedition does at the end, by now I already know all the Super Hot Fire blueprint looting locations. So even though I got all my blueprint progress wiped, I've already refound a ton of my favorites, including the Anvil, the Compensator 3, the Venator, Shotgun Choke, Silencer, even the Snap Hook. Basically, I'm a way more seasoned player at this point, so even though my account got reverted back to level 1, my in-game knowledge remains at max level. It has taken me almost no time at all to recover what I'd lost. At the time of me recording this, I'm not yet at the maximum level in-game, but that's fine. I now have something to grind for. And I completely understand that not every player will feel that way, but for me personally, it's kind of given me something to chase after again. And to repeat, it's way less harsh of a grind this time because I have way more in-game knowledge now and I know where to go for things that I need. Another big reason to go on expeditions is that some of the benefits you get stack, particularly the skill tree points, which I was actually not aware of until recently. What I mean is, I originally thought that the 5 extra skill tree points I was getting from completing an expedition would only last for the duration of the following season. But no, I will now always have those extra 5 skill tree points on my account from here on out. As a matter of fact, the maximum of extra skill points you can get on your account from doing expeditions is 15, meaning if you successfully complete 3 expeditions, you'll always have 15 more points on your skill tree than a player who has never done an expedition at all. And having 15 more skill points than another player is kind of a big deal. For the casual folks, I totally get not caring about having extra skill points. After all, if you can only play for 2 or 3 hours a week, really who gives a shit? But for more hardcore players, having 15 more points is huge. On the PvE side of things, you can unlock way more unique perks that you may not have had access to before, making you way more lethal at killing Arc. On the PvP side of things, having a more fleshed out skill tree than the guy trying to kill you could mean the difference between you winning and losing that 1v1 gunfight. Honestly, my only real complaints have nothing to do with regrinding because I've actually found it kind of fun. My complaints are that the first unique expedition skin we ever got was not only the outfit we wore in the tutorial, but it's way blander than most of the stuff in the shop, and that I think expedition quests themselves need to be spiced up a little bit more. But yeah, if you're a casual player who might not have a ton of time to grind or play, I totally get why you wouldn't want to. But if you consider yourself a vet, and especially if you feel like you've done everything there is to do in Arc Raiders, I 100% recommend going on an expedition. I promise you that the regrind is way less brutal than you're probably expecting, and I'd bet money that in the end, you'll probably feel like it was worth it. Oh, and for the record, Eggnog is is delicious. It's basically an off-brand holiday milkshake. You gonna try telling me that you don't like milkshakes? Try making it yourself, by the way, instead of drinking that low-tier trash from the grocery store. Anyway, if you have completed the expedition, let me know how you feel down in the comment section, and be sure to swing by the Twitch channel if you want to chat or blueprint swap. Thank you very much for watching. Peace!